What's up, guys? So before we get this video started, I just wanted to give a quick shout out to Chad at Jam Handle. Chad is the owner and the creator of Jam Handles, and he had seen my video and my advertisements for my video on my Instagram and my Instagram story, and he reached out to me with a pretty good deal for you guys. So now when you go to jamhandle.com, not only will you see my install video of the Jam Handles on jamhandle.com, but at checkout you can also enter code SCATCAT15, and I'm gonna put it right here, right now. That is code SCATCAT15 to get 15% off your order. So thanks to Chad and all the employees, everybody at Jam Handle. Thank you, Chad, for making this an awesome deal for all my subscribers and all my followers on Instagram. Thank you again. And that is for the third time, SCATCAT15 to get 15% off your order of any Jam Handles when you go to jamhandle.com. Now, let's get started with the video. All right, what is going on, world, and what is going on, YouTube? If you are returning, thank you for returning again. If you are new, please remember to hit that subscribe button, give me a thumbs up, and stay connected with me in the comments. But of course, welcome to the Team Scat Cat channel once again. Obviously, you can see that I am on my GoPro today. I am not on my Canon EOS M6, and that is because, obviously, we're going to do a little in-car vlog today because the Hellcat has just hit 6,000 miles. So y'all know what that means. That means that it is time for its first general servicing and maintenance appointment. So I'm going to take it to my local dealer, my local Dodge dealer. I'm going to get the oil changed out and get it all nice and brand new, have them tires rotated. And at this point, I mean, I figure it's probably a good time to do a quick little review on what I think of the Hellcat so far as daily driver. I've had it for 6,000 miles officially, probably a couple miles over because I had to work all this weekend. But little review is in store for the Hellcat, what I think of it as a daily driver, and just, you know, what I've learned about it, what I've learned from coming from a Challenger to this car for a daily driver over the last 6,000 miles. So stay tuned. We're going to get into this video real quick, but first we got to go start up the beast. Alrighty, YouTube, we've got the Hellcat all warmed up, ready to go. I had to come back inside because, one, I forgot my Dodge glasses, and two, I forgot a bushel of clothes. Say hi, Stinky. Say hi. Two, I forgot a bushel of clothes that I was going to donate to Goodwill because I've been cleaning out my closet, just like Eminem usually does a couple times a day on the radio. And figured I'd give away some clothes, so need to make some room, get the house a little bit more organized. So I'm giving away a big old bunch of clothes to Goodwill while I'm out running a few errands today. But of course, the main errand today is myself getting to the Dodge dealer and getting the first routine maintenance done on my Hellcat. So without further ado, let's get into the Hellcat, and I'll see you guys when I get there. So, all right, YouTube, and we are off, ready to get this, the first routine servicing on the Hellcat, and I am just now at 6,024 miles. So I waited till I could have gotten it done a little bit before 6,000, but to me it doesn't really matter. Plus I was working all weekend, which leads me to my next point. I apologize to all of you guys for not posting on my scheduled routine as I do every weekend because I was working the the 2018 Jacksonville NAS Air Show, and that was just a whole bunch of fun, as you can tell from my face. If you can't see, I obviously got a little tanner wearing you know, my full uniform all 3 days of the weekend, and also staring out into the sun to you know, keep any rowdy crowds quelled, I guess. I don't know, nothing happened. Yeah, so you can tell I definitely had a lot of fun from the look on my face. But anyway, cutting to the point, I apologize for not uploading a video this weekend as I was working. So this video, I am recording it today. This is Monday, October... What the hell? How do I not know what day it is? Anyway, it's Monday, October 28th. Yeah, October 28th. So, or no, today's the 29th. I'm an idiot. It's been 5 days have just blown past me. But anyway, I'm recording it on the 29th, and I'm going to chop it up, and I'm going to put it up for you guys the same day, so that way it's not too far in advance of me putting up another video. So I'm going to record this now, chop it up as soon as I get back home, and then upload it for you guys. So, but anyway, YouTube, this is me just giving you a short little overview of what I've learned about my Hellcat in the last 6,000 miles. As you know, usually after you get your first routine maintenance thing, then you can really, I mean, that's, you know, what some people believe. I've been opening the car up already, but then you can really get into opening up the car and all this stuff, and then you can, you know, see all, you know, I guess more quirks once the first round of oil is gotten out of it. All these different facts and myths come out after your first routine servicing, but whatever. None of that stuff matters to me, because this is everything that I've learned in the last 6,000 miles about this car. I'm obviously gonna touch on a couple of things. I'm not gonna go into detail about it. If you want to see some of the biggest things that I love about this car, go check out my video of the 5 things that I do love about my Charger Hellcat. And then if you want to see some of the quirks of this car, go check out the 5 things I hate about my Charger Hellcat video, which are all in its specific playlists, and they're all on my channel, so please go check those out. But anyway, I think this car is incredibly comfortable. I think now, after having it for my 6,000 miles, as I've said before, and I'll say it again, and I'll probably mention it in the future, you guys already know that follow my channel, who watch my videos, that my Challenger Scat Pack was basically my dream car. And sure, that might be not the biggest dream car for some people, but honestly, now that I've owned that car, and I've done what I wanted to do to that car, and now I've moved on, obviously, to this car, I mean, everything else is just a material item at this point, but the Challenger Scat Pack was my baby. So now I think I've gotten to a point in driving this car for those 6,000 miles. I think I've gotten to the point where when I first jumped into this, it wasn't a rushed decision, but I got a good deal, and I didn't expect to be getting a good deal on this car. So I didn't really think that I would be without my Challenger so quickly after just over 2 years of ownership. So that was kind of a quick switch for me, and it was not what I was expecting. It was kind of a culture shock for me. It was very jarring, so I wasn't entirely sure what to make of this car. And really, the first couple months I had this car driving around with it, I was really just missing my Challenger, because like I said before, it was such a fast switch, and it might sound cheesy, but I didn't really have a chance to say goodbye to my wonderful and prized Challenger Scat Pack. It was just kind of, I was at the dealership one day, and then a couple hours later it was gone and it was out of my life. So I think now, let me get back to my original point, I think now in these 6,000 miles of having this car, I think I've been able to confidently move on from the Challenger and really get into the meat and potatoes of this car and really see and feel what it's really like to have this car as a daily driver. So anyway, as I had mentioned before, yes, this car is incredibly comfortable. I love this. I do. I love this car. My wife thinks it's very comfortable. She actually didn't think the Challenger was that comfortable. We both love this car. I enjoy having more room now. Yes, the Challenger's downside was that it was a coupe, and while out of, you know, the big 3, it did have the best and more comfortable back seat of the big 3 car manufacturers, sports car manufacturers, muscle car manufacturers, whatever you want to say. It was still a little cramped for passengers, obviously, and I didn't really take too many people because I didn't feel like getting back there when it came time to clean my car weekly. It was kind of a hassle. Yeah, I know it's vain for me to say that, but whatever. Another thing, obviously, is that the power on this car, when the Hellcats first came out, because, you know, when those first came, you know, we didn't have anything else that was pushing 700 horsepower from the factory. Now you've got Demons and Hellcat Red Eyes and Trackhawks and all this other stuff. But the power in this car is actually very usable. Now, that is kind of a broad term, I know, but it is usable in the legal sense that, you know, you're able to comfortably, I think, once you're used to this car, comfortably harness the power of all 707 horsepower without, you know, killing yourself or, you know, burning out at every stoplight or stop sign or whatever the hell else all the haters wanted to say and still want to say with the Hellcat still being around and still being in production. So the power in this car is very usable. I mean, obviously I haven't taken it to its full potential because that is highly illegal if I wanted to try and do that, if I wanted to try and break that 200 mile an hour speed limiter that is in this car. But the supercharger, the power to weight ratio, obviously there's a couple things here and there that could be improved on, but Hellcat owners have already done that, and I plan to do that once I really start putting my time and energy fully into this car and making it the way I want to make it. I love doing highway entrance pulls. That noise will never get old, and that's what I mean about the power being easy and comforting to utilize once you've gotten the hang of this car and you really respect the power behind this car. So also another thing that I've learned within my 6,000 miles of this car is that, yeah, it eats gas, but as I've told people before, it's really nowhere near as different as my Challenger Scat Pack. I used to fill up on a weekly basis. I would fill up on a Sunday or a Saturday, and I would, you know, have to be stopping to fill up on a Friday or the following Saturday. And it's the same thing with this car. Now, granted, if I do like what I just did back there, and I do it for a long period of time, we've all seen the specs of, you know, what the Hellcat blower, how much air it can suck out of a room and how much time and all that stuff, and you've seen what it can do on the track and how quickly it can drink down gas. If I was doing that all the time, yeah, I'd have more of a problem with the gas consumption. But obviously, I've told you guys before in my other videos, I ride it in eco mode. I know, sacrilegious, don't sue me because I ride my Hellcat in eco mode, but it's a daily driver, and sure, some people might say it's useless, but I think it's a good tool if that's actually what you're doing with a Hellcat. You're utilizing it every day the way that Dodge would really actually want you to utilize this car. So, gas consumption, not much different from owning a 6.4 or any other SRT product, in my opinion. Next is actually public presence. Now, when I say public presence, I mean just, you know, in the car community, what this car really stands for and what it invokes in people. Now, you've all seen my Challenger Scat Pack. It was B5 blue, so it was a very loud color, and I loved that. Honestly, I wish I could have gotten a louder factory color rather than the billet silver. That's not to knock on this billet silver. I love the color combo of the carbon stripes and billet silver on this car, but I'm more of a standoffish kind of guy, and I like to stand out a little bit. So I would have liked a color from the factory, but eventually, and as I've said before and alluded to, when I start putting my time and energy into this car and making it my own, the color scheme will switch. It'll make it more my speed. No pun intended. It'll make it more my speed. But anyway, I'm getting off topic. The presence of this car, I think, is great. I'm in a couple Hellcat owners pages now, and I get nothing but, you know, compliments, and I give nothing but compliments for other people's cars. I've always loved the Mopar community, but once you start getting into the higher tiers of the Mopar community, there's not as much trolling, and that's not to say that I'm a sensitive little snowflake. I am a huge troll myself, but there's not as much, you know, trolling, and there's not as much, you know, just downplaying of other people's cars and this, that, and the other thing, and that, you know, shitting on people's decals and shitting on people's personal preferences for the appearances of their car. I don't give a damn about any of that, because I'm not paying for other people's cars, so I'm not gonna really give you shit about your car if that's the way you want to make it, and I would expect the same thing from me. But of course, the world isn't perfect, and there's trolls for everything like that. But presence in this car, obviously, people, I get stopped all the time, or I got stopped all the time in my Challenger Scat Pack just because of the color, and people wanted to think that it was a higher tier than what it was instead of being a 6.4. And I mean, you know, on the other hand, I get stopped pretty much the same amount for people who, like, you know, notice the car, or I've actually been talked to by a couple people who don't know what a Hellcat is, or have actually never seen a Hellcat in person, which is weird here in Florida, because this is like, you know, this is Hellcat weather all the time, and this is motorcycle weather pretty much year round, so it's a little weird that people never seen Hellcats, but I'm not going to bash on that too hard. But yeah, so public presence is obviously, it still demands a lot of presence in this car. When I'm you know, just going through close to my neighborhood and I'm doing a reasonable legal speed and the supercharger starts to wind up a little bit, I love seeing people's, like, you know, their neck snaps and their double takes, because sure, it might look like a charger to a lot of people who don't really know the difference between, like, you know, the SRT appearance packages and just the SRT appearance period, or, you know, the badging and all that stuff. But once they hear that supercharger, man, all bets are off the table, and I love seeing people turn around to see this car, especially when I get that supercharger whine kicked in. And, you know, last but not least in this car, which is, I'm sure is obvious to everybody, is the fun factor. This car actually is a lot of fun for a four-door family, quote-unquote, sedan. And I mean, I really do, I can confidently say now that I've really moved on in my heart from my Challenger, that I really do enjoy this car, and I really do like this car a lot. And I think I'm gonna have a lot of fun with this car in the future. I think for the power to space and the power to weight ratio, I think this car is a ton of fun, and I'm really starting to fall in love with everything about this car, the goods and the bads. I'm falling in love with all of it about this car. And I mean, I've got a lot more time to decide what I really want to do with this car, be that, you know, modification wise, and also even grander scale about, you know, actual, like, you know, keeping it after the lease is up, and, you know, really being able to focus all my time and money into this car within reason. You have to pay, you know, your bills first before you can do all your fun stuff on your cars, kids, remember that. But as I've said before, I'm really falling in love with this car, and I'm really enjoying everything this car has to offer, and I'm just enjoying everything that Dodge has, you know, had to offer in this grand scheme of things, and what they've put out and what they fine-tune every year for the Hellcats and the SRTs. So overall, 6,000 miles, should I say 6,037 miles now, still on my way to get my routine maintenancing. Do I think this car is worth it? If you have the means and you have the ability, and you know, you want to, or you're in the area, I guess, and you are able to daily drive a car like this, if you really want to, I say go for it, man. I think it's a great car. The Challengers too, I still have my soft spot for Challengers. Eventually I'd love to own another one. If you, either way, Dodge, either way, Charger or Challenger, if you want to go for one of these and you want to have your fun with it, but also be able to drive this to and from work and to and from, you know, a friend's house and this, yeah, you know, this, that, and the other thing, as long as you got the gas money, man, I say go for it. This car is a ton of fucking fun, and I love giving people rides in this, because I love people to be able to see and feel the power and have, you know, the same enjoyment that I do. Sure, some people might get a little spooked with the way I drive when I really get into enjoying the speed and the power of the car, but that's neither here nor there. But anyway, YouTube, I'm not going to drag on with this video. I wanted to give you guys this quick little update on, you know, my overall impressions so far of the Hellcat, since I wasn't able to give you guys a good video over this weekend. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. Like I said before, I'm gonna have more reviews coming about this car, and more product reviews, more modification reviews coming on this car, more detailing product reviews coming for this car as well. So stay tuned for all of that content. And pretty soon here, I think in the next couple weeks, I should be linking up with another Florida-based YouTube channel here. And, you know, we're just going to chop it up, and, you know, we're going to make some cool content for you guys. So hope you guys stay tuned for that stuff. Again, like I said before in the intro to this video, shouts out to Chad and shouts out to Jam Handle for giving you guys that promo code. If you didn't see that, again, it is now code SCATCAT15 if you want to get some jam handles. And also, if you don't know what the hell I'm talking about, go back and watch my jam handle installation video and figure out how to protect your paint. But if you haven't seen that video yet, go check it out. And if you want to order some jam handles now on Chad and on me, you guys can get 15% off your entire order when you use code SCATCAT15. But anyway, YouTube, that is it for me. I am almost to my destination, and now I'm ready to experience the real awakening of this car after this general servicing is done. So I'm going to get with you guys next time. I'll see you guys in the next video. And of course, take care, YouTube. I'll see you guys in the next one.